Hello everyone, 95% Rookie here with a kind of a interesting, uh, different video take than I usually do. Let's see, I'll try to keep the ums and ahs to a minimum because this is an unscripted video, but, uh, who was it? I think his name is Hasbo. He did a pretty good in-depth video on this if you wanted a more kind of comprehensive take on all the content and everything. I'm just kind of going to go over my thoughts, go over the screenshots and stuff, and give you my general thoughts for people who want that. And also, at the end, I'll kind of have a channel update because there's some stuff I wanted to go over. But, so yeah, set in Western Sahara. Obviously, it's called the Western Sahara, 2036. So I really like that it's set in the 2035, the current modern or future Arma 3 timeline. So conflicts between rival tribes are flaring up, government forces are losing control, and more correspondents have been kidnapped, or a correspondent has been kidnapped. So, yeah, it's a pretty interesting location. So, North Africa. I like Pakistan as a terrain, but I'm kind of sick of it, honestly, and the whole Afghanistan kind of thing. So, I'm glad that we have a terrain now that's going to be set in North Africa with, lots of sand dunes and more flat terrain, maybe a little more urban, a little less mountainous. I like that a lot. What else? So we've got. I'll just go over the screenshots for now. So we've got A164s flying overhead with kind of a village. You can see a Seaside truck down there, smoke in the distance. So maybe there's a conflict going on. So these solar panels here. So I think Argana is a CSAT country. I could be wrong about that. Maybe they're just supported by CSAT. So CSAT has a lot of, kind of like how Altus isn't a CSAT country, but it has a lot of CSAT meddling in it. So they probably have, they have some nicer infrastructure, but they're also a kind of a crumbling nation. So, they have some older buildings, which are, these are Pakistan buildings, just kind of upper textures and everything, which I'm fine with. For the price point, which I'll go over later. So civilians, older buildings, kind of a marketplace. So we have some Middle Eastern civilians now in kind of a vanilla Arma 3 setting, which I really enjoy that it's set in that timeline rather than the Cold War. I did like previous Cold War creator DLCs, but I'm glad that they're kind of switching from Cold War now to this. Here we have, I believe this is the Freedom and Independence Army faction within the DLC. Kind of guerrillas with, they may be, I don't think the National Army is actually included in this DLC, but they kind of look like a National Army. They look more professional than just a guerrilla force, but I mean, maybe it's just how they are. So the FAL, very cool weapon to be included. Up armored technicals, that's very cool. Deserty camo and everything. Here we have the UNA. So interestingly, the UN has been replaced by the UNA, which is United Assistance. I don't know if this is a canon, like this DLC in general. It's kind of unclear if this is going to be within the Arma 3 official canon. I kind of think it would be, but it may be kind of semi-canon, kind of like how Contact was, like as in if anything contradicts it in the future, it's non-canon, but you could consider it canon for now. So the UNA, it has replaced the UN. Maybe it's just kind of a sub-organization of the UN or something, who knows, but I suppose you could see it as they don't want to deal with the copyright for the with the UN, because the UN has a copyright thing, and kind of like how they switched IDAP to IDAP instead of the International Committee of the Red Cross. Maybe they just don't want to deal with the political aspect of having the UN in a game, so they just switched to the UNA, which is essentially the same thing. I'm fine with that, because IDAP worked out pretty well for the Armaverse, so UNA, that works out fine too. Here we have a different AMV. I always forget the name of this vehicle because I'm mixed between the Arma 3 Vanilla and Arma 3 Ace naming system, but I think this is a Marshall. I could be wrong about that. I'll have to look it up later. But yeah, this is a new variant, so they've added a bunch of variants of this APC, which is pretty cool. I'm glad that they're kind of expanding on it. There's also going to be an ATGM variant and a mortar variant. This looks like kind of like a lightly armored the machine gun in it. Let's see. I don't know what country this UN force is supposed to be a part of, but I assume it's going to be kind of a, judging from the look of it, it's just going to be kind of a local, kind of some country around the area, maybe a Middle Eastern country or something that just hasn't been announced yet. Maybe it's another Armaverse country. It's probably not, like Kuwait or anything like that. Here we have Ion operators, so they have the XM8 Bullpup, which is another pretty cool addition. Guys, an FAL, so Ion is being included, so it's kind of a expansion on the previous PMC DLC for Arma 2, where Ion played a big role in that. Ion has had some equipment in Arma 3, but it's never been an actual faction or unit other than, mods, so it's cool that we're getting a proper PMC faction in an official content kind of thing. Here's part from the mission that'll be included, where you have to rescue the journalist. I really like that. It's kind of like Army of Two here with the two guys with the masks and everything. I think that's an homage. And the mission itself seems pretty cool. It's more for 4 players and below, so it's not going to be so much like a proper large-scale co-op sequence. It's more like a condensed sort of, you play with your small group of friends, and it should be fun. It seems like it'll be pretty dynamic, so have high hopes for it, but I don't think it'll be anything, too special. It won't be like Old Man. It'll be more of just a dynamic action campaign. Here we have the drone with the Mark 200 on it. That's pretty neat, but utility-wise, having 200 rounds on a drone doesn't seem like it would be that useful, especially an unarmored target like a drone. It could be pretty easy to take down, so maybe it would be cool to use in like an assassination mission or something like that, but it's just a neat little addition, I guess. Here we have the Zu-23. That's pretty cool. FAL there. Yeah, so we have a proper Zu-23 added into base game on a technical as well, so that's pretty neat addition. Here we have some local Seaside Forces, I assume. Maybe these are more government troops. They have the SSH-68 helmets, which is pretty weird because, you'd think Seaside would better equip their troops than with steel pots from the Cold War, but whatever. And they have FALs as well, so maybe this is just a kind of a local Seaside force that's very under-equipped. Maybe even like a militia. U.S. NATO troops. I wish the NATO troops included in this were a different country other than the U.S., because I'm kind of sick of having every single NATO faction be U.S. I mean, why don't we just call them the U.S. if they're not going to be, countries other than the NATO? And, I mean, there's CTRG, which is UK, but even then, they're not really NATO. It's like, every NATO faction is just the U.S., so I wish it was just like the Italian NATO or something, even if they were mostly the same equipment and stuff. more UNA forces with the Galil with the 40 round mag. Pretty ridiculous mag size there. Or, I think that's 40 round. Maybe 50 round. More NATO troops. I guess this is the ATGM variant here. So it's got the ATGMs on the side here. That's pretty cool. More civilian stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that. Anything else to go over? I really like the price point it's going to be coming out at, which is at $7 US, I believe, and it'll come out to about $10 Canadian, I think, and £6 or euros or whatever, which is a very great competitive price point. What I had a problem with the previous creator DLCs, although I did get a lot of friends to get Prairie Fire just because of the unique content there for it. It's hard to get people to shell out $20 for a DLC so you can play custom missions on it with your full group and not exclude people. But with a price point like $7 or $10, I could just like do a giveaway in my server, or just pester people into getting it. $7, it's really not much to sneeze at when you can have a new DLC, new terrain with pretty decent size amount of content. I think it's not very much content included. But I think it's enough to warrant $7, certainly with a new terrain. I think it's a very competitive, nice price point, especially when you consider the game modes and stuff included. Hopefully, those stay populated. What else? Compatibility data. So yeah, so you can use the DLC's content without purchasing it. I believe it's not going to be like a 20 gigabyte mod like some of the other ones are. So it's since it's much smaller. I mean, that you could see that as a downside. I see it as an upside because it's more focused. It's more, it's just a nice little addition to vanilla Arma 3. So yeah, I think it's pretty good. I have high hopes for it. It's Q4 2021, so I'll definitely be picking it up. Might even do like a video on it. We'll see about that. Yeah, for the channel update, those were kind of my thoughts on it. So if you want to skip the channel update, you can just stop watching now. But channel update. So I've been pretty busy lately. I've been doing lots of stuff with work and been going camping lately. I've been camping around my province in Canada. It's been pretty fun. I'll post some pictures of that in the video. I've been doing, some other miscellaneous stuff. Basically, I've just been busy running side stuff, and I haven't had much time for videos lately, but I should have some more time now that I've kind of cleared up some of that side stuff. So videos will be coming out shortly, hopefully. So I have some videos planned, like after action reports, more after action reports, maybe some more top 10 videos, some more videos like this, just kind of like side content other than my let's plays, which let's plays will be continuously coming out until I basically run out of content to let's play for Arma 3. So if you're watching those will continue to come out regularly, maybe less regularly than initially. I'm doing it more like one video a week kind of thing. Just because I've been so busy lately, but hopefully I can pick up the content. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Yeah, so more videos on the way. Sorry about not being able to put them out as fast as I would have liked, but it's still it's not exactly like my job or anything, so I kind of have to deal with other stuff before this. It's kind of a side thing for me, but I do really enjoy making videos still, so expect more in the future. And yeah, thanks for watching. See ya.